And
Got it.
I think we might just be live.
Yeah, I think so too. At least it shows on my screen we are live.
Well, we will trust the technology then. Feeling brave today.
Yeah.
Hi, Kirsi, and welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me.
Well, I'm really excited to get to talk because we kind of connected about this idea that spirituality doesn't have to be the whole sort of experience.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that. You're a rebel soul.
Yeah. Rebel soul, always have been and probably always will be. Like about the rebel in me, like I'm a Kundalini yoga teacher. I have been doing yoga regularly 8 years or so, and also a Reiki master teacher. And like I have been always very, very spiritual person. Like since I was 15 or so, I already then started to read like Diana Cooper's books and like very spiritual. And then, but also I have had always this other side in me. I had a wild youth. I partied a lot. I have always eaten meat. And, you know, still I like those things. I still like to go out and party. I still have to go and dancing. I still love my champagne and wine with food. I still eat meat. Of course, I eat it much more consciously than I used to when I was in my like early 20s.
It was so. Different time then.
Yeah, exactly. So of course I choose always organic and like near produce and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, like I kind of feel that my message is to be this kind of rebel spiritual teacher, because I just want to like give people this kind of feeling that it's okay. It's really okay. There is nothing wrong with it. You can have your wine with food. You can have your steak if it makes you feel all grounded and like. So that's the rebel part in me. I've always been bad with rules, let's say that way.
Rules. Who need those?
Rules are meant to be broken, right?
That's what they say. So, yeah. I get curious because spirituality, that's such a big word. What does it actually mean to you to be spiritual?
Oh, yes, a good question. Oh, I love that. And, you know, it's quite actually natural. So it's very, very natural for me. So natural that I remember first time when some of my friends asked me, like I was their teenager years, and they were like, Kirsi, do you really believe all that stuff? Like you are speaking about angels and spirits and all that kind of world. I'm like, no, duh, I don't believe, I know. So I've always had that like in me, this deep inner knowingness, also about like soul journeys, and that like we are only here visiting, that we have many lives ahead of us, we have had many lives before us, and all these things. So actually spirituality is very normal to me and natural.
Yes.
And spirituality also for me as a mom, I have 2 kids, 9 and 10 years old. And a puppy, okay, well, he's not a puppy anymore, 1.5 years. He's a teenager.
Yeah.
He's sleeping right now. So spirituality for me means like actually really day-to-day things, taking care of day-to-day things and like down-to-earth things, how you take care of yourself, how you take care of your family. Like it doesn't always have to be some woo-woo things.
No. And I like to think that spirituality is who we are at our core, as you say, the most natural thing in the world. So to me, even asking someone, are you spiritual? Well, we all are.
Yeah, exactly. We all are spirits already. It's not something like, exactly.
Yeah. Now I went out and got the certificate.
Yeah.
So now I'm spiritual.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, for example, the title spiritual teacher, I use that sometimes, and it even says in my Instagram profile, I'm a spiritual teacher. And, you know, sometimes I have a little bit like difficult with that. I kind of like, I want to belittle myself, like, no, who are you to call yourself a spiritual teacher? But this is not the first lifetime that I am teaching these kind of things. I know I have many lifetimes before this. And the teacher part, I am actually graduated as a Waldorf school class teacher. So my last profession
You do have
was,
the certificate.
yeah, I do have exactly. But it was for a class teacher.
Yeah.
So I did those that work few years, and I just always felt like, yes, I love teaching, I still do, but I want to teach something that really matters to me, and that's the spiritual world, the spiritual realms.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, yes, I am a spiritual teacher.
And I love how you're owning that. Even as a teenager, I think that's big.
Okay,
I wasn't that brave.
No, I did not own it then. Little by little, now I'm 34, so little by little I'm starting to owning it. But it has been a long way. Like just a couple of years ago, I couldn't even say that out loud because I just thought it's way too big for me. But now when I'm like finally realizing my divine side of me, that same divine side that you have, that everyone have.
Yeah.
It's so comforting, know that like everyone, we are on the same line here. Every one of us is spiritual. Every one of us are like limitless, abundant beings, full of light and love.
Yeah. And as we talked about just before we jumped on, remembering that part is sort of where the trick is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because we are also human, and human experience can be kind of messy and chaotic and a little bit frustrating sometimes. So yeah.
And those are the moments, like I said, in real life, those are the moments, like you have, let's say you have just meditated, or you have just watched some awesome spiritual lesson on YouTube, or you have just read your really good Eckhart Tolle book about presence, and then your kids come home from school and then they start to fight, and I was like, oh my God, those are the moments when like spirituality is like putting you on a test, like, okay, how it was now. How it was now, Kirsi? How is your skill?
You're present, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And full of love, and yes, I am.
Yeah, and in those moments, at least I noticed, I'm not an angel parent. I do yell at my kids, like I do get frustrated and I do get angry, and in those moments, it's all about self-love, self-compassion, and that's something that I have been learning here for many years. I have still much learning to do with that, but
I think we all do. I think that's an ongoing process, really.
Yes.
But it's so worth it as well, isn't it? Because I think nothing is better than having one of those moments where the kids come home and they're noisy and loud, and you were just wanting to do this thing or whatever, and you find yourself laughing and smiling and saying, oh well, maybe I felt inspired right now, but it'll come back. And then you greet your kids, and so noticing when you no longer fall back into those now everything's ruined kind of patterns.
Yeah, it's so rewarding. Yes, it's like even to have 1-2 little these kind of moments in a week, it's like, oh my God.
Yes.
And just like everyone says, like when you become conscious about something, that's always the first step to healing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like just stop and always kind of like congratulate yourself if you made it that far, that you could actually stop yourself and like be conscious, okay, what just happened? Because that's always the first step to
absolutely
knowing, maybe, or at least trying to do things differently.
And then we have proven to ourselves that it is possible, even if we don't do it every time, not even most of the time, but even just like, oh, I did it there, that I had one of those moments. I was like, yes. And then and the more we, as you say, congratulate ourselves and celebrate and enjoy and stop and become aware, this is actually what it feels like when I don't get carried away by all the human stuff.
Yeah.
So and for me, I find more and more of that, you know, every day or every week. I'm like, oh, I'm getting better at this. I'm getting better at this. This is so delicious. And then sometimes I crash and burn because I run into something and I'm like, oh no, I thought I had it. And then I realized, because there's a little bit more to it, or I can do this
there
as
is
well.
always something a little bit more. That's what I have learned. Every time you get triggered of something, and especially if it's some kind of thing that you get triggered over and over again, some kind of like little old devil that's like to come and visit you from time to time. So so it just means it comes and it comes up because there is something inside you that needs healing. Something inside you that needs love, something inside you that wants to be seen. So it's just good. Just show your feelings.
Exactly. And I sometimes feel, you know, yes, it's something that wants to be seen and be made right, is how I feel, because those things are often the sides of ourselves that we have been making out to be wrong somehow. And I like exploring and discovering how all of those things actually come from good intentions that were just, you know, if we end up shouting at our kids, it's because we want them to get along. It's because we want them to be happy, and we just get frustrated. So instead of being like, oh my God, I'm a horrible, angry parent, it's like, just dig that little step deeper and say, actually comes from a place of love. I just don't have the tool to do what it is that I want. And then we can find that.
Boundaries are love with kids. So sometimes we have to do a little bit like what's it called? Twist the arm. What's it called when you do this? I'm not sure in English word, but when you do like
arm wrestling.
Arm wrestling, exactly.
Being human. So I'm also really curious about your book. Could you tell me a bit more about
it here? That? I remember to take one copy here to show live to everyone.
Open your fucking heart. Yes.
And it's brand new. It launched like about about 1 week ago.
Oh, amazing.
And this title, as you said it's kind of like a rebel, and you know the subtitle is a spiritual guide to stepping fully into your power and purpose. And actually the senior editor in my publishing company, he was a little bit like, careful, are you sure about the title? Like he was not sure how people will react to that.
Can you have like, that word in a sentence in a spiritual book?
And I thought about it a little time, and I was just like, yes, I am sure, because I really want also to make that kind of reaction, because reactions are good. Because if the book name would only be Open Your Heart, it's like, okay, it's like almost every book is something like that. Open your heart. That wouldn't, maybe people even wouldn't notice it. And I really want people to read that book. Like, even if I say now by myself, but it's a good book. It's a short book, only like 117 pages. Really easy to read, and just kind of like, I could say I did not even write it. I was being more like a channel, because every time I went and took my laptop, my laptop was surrounded by crystals. I always invited this space around me, ascended masters, angels, everything. And I just said, okay, I'm ready to be a channel. What do you want me to write today? And then I just started to write. So something that's in the book, I'm really believing it's good.
You had help writing that book.
Yeah. So it's good things in the book.
I like that. And it's actually funny the way you explain it. I almost got chills, because I wrote a book as well last year. And you know, I had found an online sort of guide on how to even get started writing a book. And it was like, it's probably going to take you 9 to 12 months. And if you write 250 words every day, that's really good. You're on track. And so I was like, okay. So when I had set up the outline and stuff, and I sat down to write, it took me 3 weeks, and I was done. And I was like, that's not possible.
Yeah.
And then when I started reading it again, I was like, did I write that? So
I have exactly the same experience. I'm like, when the first round of edits came, like, wow, did I write that? I don't remember that I did write that.
Where did that come from?
Yeah, that's why I was like, whoa, 9 to 12 months. Oh my God, I wrote my book like in 2 months, 2 months.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it took me from start to finish. It took me 6 months. Because the editing, I didn't find that part that much fun. Writing it was my favorite part.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, but I really like the whole idea about it. And as you say, it's okay to make people stop and be like, wait, what? Because that makes them check in with themselves, doesn't it? And they might come to the conclusion that, no, that's too weird, that's not for me. But at least they have become consciously aware. They made a choice. So I think it still sparks something in people.
Yeah, and about the word itself, as I have written in the introduction part, so it's not the word in itself, like it's 4 letters, fuck, F-U-C-K, it's just a word, but it's the energy that you put into that word, and that's your energy, your perception about the word is the thing that makes all the difference.
Absolutely.
And I'm speaking really much about energy in this book, and like how your own perception of things is really important key. I love that quote. Was it now Wayne Dyer said something like, what you look at will change. I don't remember the quote now. Okay, it's in my book. But Wayne Dyer is good. When you look at the things itself will change. When you change, now I remember. When you change the way you look at things, things start to change. That was it. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. And we were talking about that a bit before as well, that you are just on the brink of a big new adventure that you wouldn't have been ready for just a few years ago.
Yes.
Has your book played a part in getting you there?
No, actually, because this dream of ours, we have had it for 2 years already. And I think
let's know what you're about to do. I find it so amazing and inspiring.
Yeah. So we are about to move to Spain, just like in 10 days from Finland, from cold country. Now it's actually sun is shining and it's a little bit shining to my face as well. But otherwise, really, really cold country. We have like winter at least 6 months per year. So I'm just so done with the weather. I want to have warm weather, sunshine. So we did make the decision like 1-2 years ago. But we actually were thinking that we're going to move in summer 2020. So we would move in a couple of months. But then some certain things happened. And universe is just like yelling to us, okay, you need to go now. And what made it even more clear was that we got to sell our house in 5 days.
Wow.
So we listed our house, and after 5 days, we got an offer, and it was the exact price that we wanted to have. So I was just like, oh my gosh, okay, we believe you, universe.
Yep. We'll take the hint.
Yeah, we are ready to go now. And the buyer said that he would like to have as fast move in as possible. And this kind of thing. And the thing here is that we actually don't have a house down there yet. And this is the part of me, human self, that would have gone totally crazy. Like just
Yeah.
a few years down the road, I would have not been ready.
Mm-hmm.
But for some weird reason, now I am. I've got to build my trust, build my faith with universe, and just it's almost crazy that I can be this calm. Like I'm here booking myself podcast for
Yes.
nothing. I did post into this some podcast group, and you saw my post about that I have written a new book, and I would like to speak about it and spread the message. And I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Like, we are moving soon, but here I am recording podcasts and like
instead of packing. But
yeah.
Yes.
But it's just, it feels so really nice. Like, of course, I'm also human, and sometimes these little bit nervous thoughts gets into my head, like, oh my God, what are you doing? You're crazy. I have 2 kids and a dog, and you don't have a house yet, and you're moving in 10 days. Like, what are you doing? But those are exactly, again, those self-love, self-compassion moments. Like, yes, I get to be human. I get to have all these feelings. But anyway, even if I have all these feelings in my heart, I have this very deep trust, very deep faith that we will get the right house in perfect divine timing, and everything will just go so well.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait to follow your adventure. I want to hear all about it.
Yeah.
The perfect place and the unfolding, and it's so delicious to find that trust in life, because then even the unfamiliar is no longer really scary, because well, when life has your back, what could go wrong, really?
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. That's the thing. When you go towards your possible fears, or when you just go towards that kind of thing that you have a little bit felt like, oh, insecure, like, I believe the best cure to that is to just go straight forward, go and do that thing. Because when you do those things, you really notice that, oh, it wasn't that bad after all. Like, oh, I survived.
Yep.
And then
It
you just really,
out.
you really get the feeling of life, how life supports you, how life holds you.
Absolutely. Not necessarily always in the way we expected or planned, but sometimes it turns out to be even better. Life has
That's
a
a
way of
whole
doing.
nother story then.
We'll do that another day.
Yeah, exactly.
I think
Too
for
deep
now,
rabbit hole.
yes. But thank you so much for sharing with us today about your book and your adventure and all this good stuff. And I wish you the very best. And sunshine, more sunshine. Yay.
Thank you so much.
Well, talk soon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.